Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the University of Manchester and the splendid surroundings of this Whitworth Hall for our graduation ceremony. In particular, I'd like to welcome you, our graduands, whose magnificent work and achievements we're here to celebrate today. I'd also like to welcome you who are here as family and friends. Many of you have traveled long distances. We're delighted to see you at the university and thank you for the help, support, and encouragement that you've given our graduands during their studies. A degree ceremony is a rite of passage, marking the move from one stage of life to another. Some of you will remain in higher education and research, but for many, the transformation is to the world of work. If you're still feeling the effects of your examinations or the pressure of your deadlines, you could take some solace from the words of one of the world's first and greatest teachers and students, Aristotle, who tells us, "The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet." The early days of most people's careers can be challenging, but those of you who are graduating today have given yourselves a real competitive edge by completing your degree here in Manchester. A few words about the institution whose name is written on your certificates. From its origins in the 19th century, this has been a university ready to engage with the wider world. At the same time, Manchester is already regarded as one of the finest universities in Europe, and we're striving to become one of the very top group in the world. No fewer than 25 Nobel Prizes have been awarded to our staff and former students. Our alumni occupy the highest positions in the world of business, politics, media, and the professions. Future leaders in all of those domains are sitting here in front of me now. You will see around you, outside, some of the investments we're making in buildings and equipment to improve the experience of our students and to keep our research at the leading edge. But it's not these that will make our university great and successful. It's our staff, our students, our people. You have helped to make the university what it is today, and this ceremony is just as much about honoring you for this valuable contribution as for your success in your academic studies. Obtaining your degree is a hugely important milestone, and you should celebrate your success. But this is the beginning of the journey and of your association with Manchester. As the class of 2012, you'll not only take with you the friendships formed in your years with us, but also membership of the wider family of 250,000 who come together in our Alumni Association. One last message before we proceed is to remind you that your university degree does not only confer upon you a recognition of the knowledge that you've gained. In this age, where trust in many of our leading public and private institutions has been damaged, we rely even more upon the integrity and the informed skepticism that the trained mind can offer. Wherever you go in the world, you are also responsible for carrying those values and making that world a better place. Now, I would like to invite Professor Kirsty Boyers, Head of School and Associate Vice President, to address you.
As will soon become apparent, I'm not from round here, but I've lived here long enough to know that a word or two about the weather always comes in well. Can I apologize that we have not been able to greet you with traditional Manchester rain today? Though we will be in here for maybe getting on for an hour, so there is hope yet. As Head of School of Languages, Linguistics and Cultures, I would like to join the Vice President in welcoming you to this graduation ceremony. The graduates, of course, but also family and friends who've come to help us celebrate today. The graduates from our school have all completed a degree at some level in some aspect of the study of language. Whether they've studied translation, linguistics, or some aspect of the culture of Europe, China, the Arab world, or Latin America, what unites them is language. To try to impress upon you how important the area of language studies is, I thought I would ask you to stop for a minute and think about what humans could have achieved if they'd not had language. But of course, it's not clear at all what kind of thinking we'd do without language. Language is then central to what it means to be a human. Any old species can have a digestive system as subtle or efficient as ours, and some species have more subtle vision than we do. Some animals do have quite complex systems of communication, but the subtlety of human language is unique to our species. Human language is one of the things that make us who we are, and human language is crucial to many of the other things which make us who we are. There is then no doubt that what today's graduates have done to complete their degree is of phenomenal value. There are more concrete ways of measuring the value of having studied a degree, but using any of these, it is still clear that you made a good choice in choosing a language-based study. The Department for Business, Innovation and Skills produced a report entitled Higher Ambitions, the Future of Universities in a Knowledge Economy, and it calls for an expansion of the number of language graduates. HEFGI, our main higher education funding body, produced a report on graduate salaries, which measures average salaries 3.5 years after graduation, a point when graduates can be assumed to have settled into their career. It shows that modern language graduates are the fourth highest earners after medicine, pharmacy, and architecture and planning, ahead of the sciences. Returning now to the human rather than the monetary value of studying a language-based subject. Those graduating today show tremendous breadth in the range of languages they have studied, but also in how they have approached language studies. Through translation, through study of the nature of language, what it tells us about the human mind or social interaction between humans, or as a vehicle for and expression of cultures through literature or film, for instance. Some of you have also studied it in combination with business and management. And all of you have done this to an impressive depth. This combination of depth and breadth in language-based studies is something which I would want to claim is characteristic not just of our students, but also of our school as a whole. The School of Languages, Linguistics and Cultures has teaching and research expertise in Arabic, Catalan, Chinese, French, German, Hebrew, Italian, Japanese, Persian, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, and Turkish. Of the languages I've just mentioned, at least 8, depending on how you do the calculation, are in the top 10 most spoken languages in the world. But we as members of the global community must be wary of an imbalance. 95% of the world's population speak together only 5% of the world's languages. The remaining 95% of the world's languages are spoken by smaller numbers, often only by tiny handfuls of speakers, and they are dying out at a worrying rate. Our school conducts research on some of the languages with the fewest speakers in the world, in areas such as Peru, the Middle East, Nicaragua, the Pacific, and Australia. The loss of the world's linguistic heritage is as big a threat as the loss of biological species, and our school is proud to pass on both the knowledge of the culture and tradition of the big languages and a commitment to document and understand the issues surrounding the small languages. It is customary on occasions like these to tell you of the famous graduates of the university. As I hope you know, we have recent Nobel Prize winners on our books, and of course Brian Cox is one of our graduates. But I would like to focus on some of those famous graduates whose reputation rests mainly or partly on their use of language in different ways. Anthony Burgess, famous author of A Clockwork Orange, but also a linguist and a translator. Anna Ford, a broadcaster who was the first female newsreader on ITV, but who also worked for the BBC. Ben Elton, comedian and author. Margaret Beckett, a Labour politician and the longest-serving female MP. As the Vice President implied, it is quite possible that some years from now, when one of my successors presents degrees like I'm doing today, your name is included on the list of famous graduates. However, whether you reach fame or not, what I and my colleagues wish for you is that you find your niche in life, professionally and personally, a place where your knowledge and skills are valued and used, and where you have the right level of challenge to develop further as a professional and as a person, while at the same time feeling secure in your abilities. I know that the degree you have completed at the University of Manchester has prepared you well for this. Do keep in touch with us and let us know how you get on, and I can assure you our doors will always be open for you. Thank you very much.
Vice President, on behalf of the Senate of the University, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Maria Ascensión Aguirre Solano. Ahmet Alva. Pilar Caballero Alias. Elena Daviti. Justina Drobnik-Rogers. Claire Humphrey. Elaine Luck. Michael Ramsamy. Anne Williams. Zhongli Yu. And for the degree of Master of Arts, European Languages and Cultures, Cultures of Migration, Diaspora and Exile, Sian Elizabeth Fairley. And in Translation and Interpreting Studies, Zafar Abdurrahman Tuheta. And for the degree of Master of Modern Languages, French and German with honours, Michael O'Neill. Melanie Jane Smith. Jonathan Heffer. And in French and Italian with honours, Ruben James Vincent. And in French and Spanish with honours, Francesca Bird. Lindsay Burrell. Lydia Faye Leach. Natasha Alexandra Shaddick. Samuel Robert White. Hannah Phoebe Rickman Williams. And for Bachelor of Arts in English Literature and a Modern Foreign Language, French with honours, Kemi Banjoko Banjoko. Connie Ann Holden. Holly Ann Marshall. Hannah Maltzer. Catherine Beth Seymour. And in English Literature and a Modern Language, German with honours, Jessamine Ann Horton-Davis. And in English Literature and a Modern Language, Spanish with honours, Laura Allen. Rosie Isabella Bentley. Laura Elizabeth Cure. Abigail Noakes. Sally Louise O'Callaghan. Simon Roberts. And in European Studies and a Modern Language, Portuguese with honours, Loan Collier. And in European Studies and a Modern Language, Russian with honours, Madeleine Louise Eden. Sergei Sigai. And in European Studies and Modern Languages, French with honours, Katie Bloomfield. Jennifer Alice Cockton. Jennifer Dowd. Emma Kirkby. Alexandra Nicole Lovett. Elise Nollant. Jessica Louise Ellen Rogerson. Joe Whittington. And in European Studies and Modern Languages, German with honours, Svetlana Kostadinova Dimitrova. Lydia Francisti. Yvette Marie Jacob. And in European Studies and Modern Languages, Spanish with honours, Kimberly Anscombe. Emma Lisette Kraus. Anna Pitchler. Olivia Louise Cannon Puddicombe. Edward Harry Wardley. And in Modern Languages and Business and Management, French with honours, Grace Columbia Alexander. Alice Carr. Alexandra Collins. Ben Dean. William James Frederick Eden. Natasha Everett. Catherine Hill. Rebecca Jones. Elizabeth Louise Jones. Aoife Sinead McElhatton. Natalie Mary Michael. David Moorcroft. Kate Payan. Letitia Shard. Dinuli Senaratne. Fleur Yenek Butcher. And in Modern Languages and Business Management, German with honours, Esther Ade Brobby. Graham Cox. Hannah Charlotte Finley. Robert Renza. Zoe Bell Schofield Hinchliffe. Jennifer Elizabeth Stobbs. Claire Louise Stringfellow. Lucinda Florence Thompson. David Neil Witts. And in Modern Languages and Business Management Italian with honours, Ruth Eschenheimer. And in Modern Languages and Business Management Russian with honours, Sapa Altunyeva. Maria Jancha Wilk. Gregory Alejandro Leon. Andrew Rostek. Daniel Yosman. And in Modern Languages and Business and Management Spanish with honours, Alexander James Adey. John Coyle. Richard Allen Cravos. Rebecca Cullerton. Jenny Elizabeth Doris. Jade Golan. Alex Haslam. Monica Ignata Vichute. Victoria Ann Judge. Sarah Matthews. Richard McAlpin. Maria Christina Juliet Murphy. Duncan Jared Plale. Sahil Shah. Christopher David Victor Smith. And in Modern Languages and Business and Management Arabic with honours, Hassan Raza Hussein. And in Modern Languages and Business and Management Chinese with honours, Nicoletta Betchis. Yet Yi Fan. Adam Goebel. Joseph Henry William Holder. Alexandra Ingrid Beatrice Invalson. Owen Knights. Rachel Leslar. Victoria Lynn. Massimo Liu. Douglas Murch. Natasha Hay Nye. Sean Puckle. Cillian Spillane. Catherine Louise Tarrant. Lauma Upaniche. Veronika Vadovikova. And in Modern Languages and Business and Management Japanese with honours, Suki Elizabeth Annan. Che Hang Chan. Jung Hyuk Hyuk Kim. Paul McAllister. And in Modern Languages, French and German with honours, Carol Helen Bidwell. Samuel Clamp. Jessica Garner. Kirsty Lynn Hudson. Darcy Lindsay. Catherine McCall. Elizabeth Munro. Lola Pasquier. Emma Lucy Sims. Emily Jane Stopford. And in Modern Languages, French and Italian with honours, Amy Davis. Elaine Patricia Harris. Eleanor Hennigan. Matthew James Francis King. Sarah McLaughlin. Lucy Ellen Penny. Adam Richards. Mohammed Safian. And in Modern Languages, French and Russian with honours, Timothy James Goodall. Mike Hatfield. And in Modern Languages, French and Spanish with honours, Priyanka Banji. Rosalind Louisa Bond. Jessie Brown. Charlotte Croker. Elodie Fleury Rogers. Rosemary Gold. Ross Grant Charles Haggith. Oliver Homyard. Catherine Ann Jubb. Kate Elizabeth Kendall. Marie Kennedy. Payam Jordan Gobanali Korbachev. Stefan Levy. Sophia Jean Livesey. Edward Mallion. Karina Louise Norton Amer. Emma Lauren Pitt. Samuel Power. Sophie Raby. Claire Louise Rogers. Annalisa Charlotte Round. Rosamond Scott. Sarah Lucy Smith. Louise Rachel Taylor. Alexandra Faye Threlfall. Lydia Tobin. Francesca Maria Turner. Edward Verrill. Colin Paul Walker. And in modern languages, German and Italian with honours, John George Dawson. And in modern languages, German and Russian with honours, John Pilkington. And in modern languages, German and Spanish with honours, Victoria Briggs. Lucy Rebecca Davies. Katrina Doherty. Anna Alicia Kuligowska. Hannah Catherine Mead. Hayley Mulroney. And in modern languages, Italian and Spanish with honours, Laura Arpino. Charlotte Cayley. Sarah Catherine Chadwick. Antonia Ray Clayton. Nicola Matteo Fraus. Francesca Harris. Daniel Holmes. Henry Charles Parker. Claire Alexandra Wakely. Holly Wells. And in modern languages, Russian and Spanish with honours, Hannah Louisa Bowles. Claire Victoria Navesey. And in modern languages, French and Spanish, Alistair Charles Trodden.
In one language only, I would like once more, on behalf of this university, to congratulate you all and to wish you the very best in your future lives. You're graduates now, you can put your hats on. I now declare the ceremony closed.